You guys, so today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I will be showing you guys my strategy of, obviously buying and investing in sports cards this winter. I do have a pretty set out strategy regardless of how, obviously the market reacts. As of now, I do definitely believe we could be turning the corner and stuff could be starting to go up quite soon, obviously, because the NBA could any day release an official date of the start of the season, and that will definitely cause prices to increase. But before we get into my strategy and all that, I do want to say, as you guys know, I have my Sports Card Invest membership program, and recently we've been making an absolute killing. Even though the market has not been as hot, we've been making a lot of money. Now, just last Sunday, so about 5 days ago, we were buying these Kristaps Porzingis select rookie cards for just $9. They seem super undervalued to me. Consider his Prism was around $50. That was like $9 for select. Select is on the rise right now. So I recommended all my membership members to go ahead and buy these for under around 15 to 20 bucks. Currently, they're selling for over $35. So we've made nearly nearly around 3 times our money, I'd say, to be conservative. We've made around 3 times our money in a span of 5 days, which is quite crazy. There's still lots of money to be made. This card was an undervalued gem that I was able to find with the research in my group and I. So I definitely believe, there's still a lot of ways to make money. If you guys would like to make some money with us, with our picks, you can go ahead, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. We actually yesterday hit 20,000 followers on my Instagram, and we're running a special promo. So for the next 20 hours, you can go ahead and use code SPORTSCARDS for 20% off our whole website. So if you would like to join, now is the time to get in for a low price, because prices will go back up after these 20 hours. So for the next 20 hours, use code SPORTSCARDS with an S at the end of cards. If you would like to join in on the profit, literally from $8 to around $35 in a span of 5 days. So if you guys would like to join in on the 3,100 members that are making profit with us, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. Without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. So first, some observations. Obviously, the market in basketball has still been on the low. However, obviously, there's more opportunity when prices are down. I'm not the type of person who wants to buy cards when, obviously prices just continue to rise. You don't want to buy in the hype, because then what happens is you're buying when prices are so high and there's not as much upside. There's only downside. So I definitely think now is a great time to buy, because there's not as much downside. Cards have already gone down so much, but there's a lot of upside because there's still so much demand, and the demand is in football right now. But I believe when the basketball season starts up again, the demand will come back to basketball for sure. So I definitely believe there's a lot of money to be made in that. Now, one thing I'm looking at is, pop reports. Pop reports are definitely very big. I definitely think that pop reports will be causing prices to really fluctuate over the next few years in the hobby. Looking ahead, I think the demand's going to have to stay very hot for base prisms to obviously maintain their value. So I think personally right now, Ice Prisms. So Prism Ices are very underpriced. Just because they should be a lot more than a base card, because they're printed a lot less and the demand is there. But I just think right now they're very underpriced. So I'm buying a lot of these Prism Ice, Trae Youngs. And also what's good about that is when prices do go down, for the last, 2 months, prices have gone down a lot, but Prism Ices have been able to maintain better value than anything else. Then base prices are going down a lot, but Prism Ices are actually holding up a lot better. Same with Select is holding up a lot better. I believe Select is going to be a big part of the future of the hobby. I think cards, obviously, like that Kristaps I recommended, but also just, good players like Luka, Trae, I believe their Select rookies are very underpriced. Just because obviously they're printed a lot less than the Prism, and in my opinion, they look classier, and other people believe that as well. Obviously the Prism has kind of been the go-to for the hobby for the last years, for the last couple years, but I definitely think that Select is definitely on the rise. Optic could definitely continue to go up, just the numbers of Prism, they're being printed at a mass rate right now, and I think, the color Prisms are a lot better than going for the base. I'm definitely, investing in a lot of, red, white, blue Prisms, and just a bunch of other undervalued Prisms, because along with the price increasing on a player, I believe that the different colorways are going to go up even more. They're going to outpace the base cards in these next few years. I personally believe that to be true, just because of pop report numbers and demand and supply. So I definitely think that will be the case. So I'm going for a lot of Prism Ice and Select, and also, obviously, in terms of what players to buy, I am buying a lot more of, obviously, guys like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, who are a little bit more established, just because, I'm trying not to go after, very underground players right now, especially because the market is not quite as hot as it was before. I definitely want to go for more established players. I think Steph Curry is a great bet right now. His prices are down a lot, and obviously next year he's going to be back in action. People are going to be very hyped up about that, and, demand will be back into basketball cards, and when basketball cards have demand, Stephen Curry will definitely go up. If he has a big season along with Klay Thompson, I think it's a great buy. This guy's already a 3-time champion. He's already a back-to-back MVP, first unanimous MVP, best shooter in NBA history. So that's definitely, things you want to think about. Over the next 3 years, over the next even year, over the next NBA season, who's really going to get a big price increase? I believe those guys are Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Kyrie Irving's a bit, I think he's a little bit more risky than these guys, but, these guys have proven so much. They're very, they're not talked about enough in the hobby, to be quite frank. You see guys like Luka Doncic at $1,300, rightfully so. Luka has an incredible talent. He will definitely be very good in the future. But who knows if he will be better than Kevin Durant? Who knows if he will be better than Steph Curry? He very well could be, but he very well could not be if he gets injured or something happens, right? So it's definitely very, I feel a lot more safe when I put my money into Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and those guys. And I definitely believe that going for brands, really keeping in mind right now, obviously the cards that are going down the most right now are the cards that were overprinted with that. Obviously the base cards in particular, but just cards that are overprinted are not holding up as much, because obviously there's so much supply and there's not enough demand to meet the supply. But right now in the hobby overall, we are seeing supply and demand coming closer and closer together, and soon enough, the people who want to sell their cards will be sold, and their supply will start to go down, so demand will start to go back up, which is definitely a very good sign. I think cards will start to really pick back up over the next month or so, and as soon as they release the new date, what usually happens every year is a month before the season starts, cards start to go back up again. We see this off-season dip every single year, so I believe now is personally the best time to buy cards. There's not as much downside, so much upside. Demand for basketball will be going through the roof. And one thing I really look at is, basketball cards are really going global right now. You see them all over social media. It's really getting big. And, obviously, football is not a global sport. Baseball may be a global sport, but not quite as big as basketball. Basketball is huge in Europe, huge in Asia, huge everywhere around the globe. So I think that demand for basketball cards are going to go through the roof again. I believe we will see a second wave this season of card increases. I believe the second wave will be steadier than the first wave that we saw of cards just absolutely going crazy. But I still believe the second wave will be, there's going to be a lot of money to be made in the second wave of sports cards. Should it obviously happen, I hope it does. And I'm very confident that it will, just because, most fads don't last, a few months. There's definitely people still here. There's so much demand right now in the hobby. It's just all going to football, and I think that will, obviously come back to basketball when the season starts again. So in this second wave, I will definitely, be on the lookout for more established players. Even vintage could have another wave of price increases, but I definitely think I would stick with a lot of, classic players. LeBron, Steph, KD, even Luka is a little bit more of a classic than others. Just because when prices go up, you know that those guys will go up in price. Even Kobe's a very good buy right now. He is super underpriced. His cards will definitely start to go back up as soon as, the market overall comes back up, because Kobe is just so iconic. A lot of people swear he's the best of all time. I know a lot, the Laker fans in general, have a lot of spending power, are a very big fan base, and they, obviously long term, this Kobe card, I will not be surprised if it's $10,000, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's definitely something that I boldly predict, and I hope I'm right about that. But I definitely think, right now is the time to be buying cards. Obviously in August, I was very skeptical because stuff was going up way too fast. But now I'm very confident because, you got to be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. So I definitely think now's the time to buy. And yeah, those are definitely, be on the lookout for, pop report numbers. I would definitely, keep that in mind, because you do not want to be buying cards that are mass produced. Obviously, like, there's certain Topps cards, like Kevin Durant's Topps card is mass produced. I would not go for those. I'd stick to Topps Chrome, or even second year Topps Chrome is better than going for that. But yeah, really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Once again, if you guys would like to join in on the profit with my 3,100 members that are making a killing, use code SPORTSCARDS for 20% off for the next 20 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.